What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be looking at inform Bruno Fernandes, the 88th right mid. He does have technically a better card with a 4-4, but that is a 90 rated, a World Cup stories, and he also costs double the value what this one's going to be. This one definitely hasn't finished dropping just yet. Was coming in at 4,500 at the very start of release. Now he's coming in at just shy of 300, and I can imagine he'll drop a little bit more. I think the 4-star, 3-star, especially at this point in the game, is a little bit lower than what we want, but Bruno has always got a big name, and I've always liked his dribbling sort of style. We're going to go with the engine, as I think that's going to be the best one for me if I'm going to put him in that middle, because it'll give him the agility balance boost, but I can imagine a lot of people will be going for maybe a shadow or a hunter just to give you as much pace as possible. But we'll try it a couple of ways, see if the hunter works first, or at least the shadow, put him in the middle and see what he's all about, because I think right mid, he's just not personally going to play it very well. I definitely would like him more in the middle of the game, trying to dictate that way. He's got solid player leadership and flair as the traits, with outside of the foot hiding just there. Let's see how much he's worth by the end of this review and what he does drop down to right now. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. Let's get underway then with Bruno Fernandes. Like I say, the dribbling side of him normally is where I really like him, and hopefully he has done enough or will do enough to get himself a team of the season, as I think this version is okay, but it's definitely going to be lacking within the next couple of weeks. There's not going to be too much to talk about with him, other than maybe the dribbling sort of style, the assist play. That's really where he's going to work his magic, but we definitely need that big boost for the 90 pluses on pretty much everything. Bringing it forward with Fernandes. We've gone with the shadow on him just to go a bit more pace. I realised the pace really will matter for him, so we've gone with that shadow just to give him as much as possible. As you can see, the left stick dribbling working out very nicely. This guy doesn't know where he wants to go with him. Try and find the inside. Can we find a little Trivela over the keeper? And Bruno with the first goal. Very lucky. It doesn't work that well all the time, but a stunning finish from Bruno. Because I think the big kind of thing for Bruno as well is not only the pace himself, but every other position that we've got, centre mid-wise, will have so much more pace. It's a lovely ball through, and Ben Yedder's bagging that one. But every position, centre mid, right wing, cam, every single position has had a card with an enormous pace increase. For instance, our normal team, Zidane would normally rock the middle. He would definitely take over him in that cam role as well. Obviously comes in at a lot more of a cost compared to Bruno, but I do think that is always to take into consideration what people are going to have. Can we find a little pass back into Bruno here? Little fake shot round, finds that left foot and finish the game dead and buried in the first one. Like I say, I always like the dribbling of Bruno. It's very quick, very accurate in that dribbling sort of style, so that always works really well. Very much how I always like Messi in that sort of sense. The dribbling's very accurate, it's quick, it's agile, it works really well, and he's got a slight build, which always has its negatives as well. We know full well that the strength of Bruno is definitely not going to match too much, but the passing, agility should really come in handy if you are planning not to be tackled, really. Pushing it forward. The only thing as well, I would love... Oh, that's a good ball, and Ben Yedder buries it. And I think, are we already done? Wow, that is incredible if we're going through that. But the big thing as well, that 3-star weak foot, I really wish they would have kept that on, because I think the 4-star would have been so much better just as a base card to have in this upgrade. Lovely into Bruno, little roulette out of space, but Luke Shaw comes in with a dying challenge there. Can find him back here though. Little bit of passing, can get that through ball. It's a nice little one into Ben Yedder, finds it out. Straight onto that ball, pings. One more into Bruno. That would have been absolutely poetic. So then, going into the overall for Bruno then, in terms of the price, we are updated at 282. I know personally that there is about a 275 to 280 as well on the market, so he is dropping, and I can imagine we more than likely will see him sub probably 250, 240 before too long. I think in terms of the price, we're looking at 600k for, or just under 600k for +4 on the pace, 1 on everything else, and an extra, obviously, weak foot, which is a massive deal, to be honest. Both of them can be in the same positions, other than he can't be a cam, which is absolutely fine. And in terms of the other team of the weeks, where are we sitting at? De Bruyne at 770. So he's really coming in as the second most expensive this week, and I feel like he's okay. The big thing for me is he definitely could do with a pace increase. At this point in the game, centre mid, cam, right mid, right wing, 76 is going to be an absolute struggle. So I do think that the Shadow Hunter vote is going to be massive. If you're putting him in the mid, a Shadow's always going to do quite well, because we do need that little bit of defensive ability. We've already got some nice attacking, passing's already pretty good. Same with the dribbling. Would like a bit more on the agility balance, but being this card is still a little bit low rated on everything else, I would go with the Shadow just to kind of almost have that as the extra there. The Hunter, again, could be quite useful if you are going to play him in almost a cam centre forward role. Then definitely that's the way to go, because we know he's going to have 1 or 2 CDMs, CMs behind him. That's absolutely fine if he is almost a second striker as such, and that will always do well because his finishing is nice. Obviously gets the 84 pace with some good acceleration. You can definitely tell the difference between somebody with a lot better pace in that sort of cam pushing up role, like for instance Zidane. With the price difference, obviously, Zidane mid, I can imagine, is still coming in at an absolute fortune at 2 million coins. The SBC was 1.8. I don't think it would be fair to almost have a complete comparison between a card that more than likely will cost 200,000 coins to a 1.8 million card. If we are looking, in fact, I'm interested, if we are looking in that centre mid cam role, as I don't think he's a right mid by any shot, if we're saying, we'll say 100,000 coins between, say, 280 at the moment, because obviously if you're buying him right now, then fair enough, you're paying the premium for him just to get him first. But if we are looking in terms of price-wise, 270 for Leroy Sané, Harry Kewell, trying to see if there's anybody else in that sort of category that is that sort of price as well and better. Rapsodori is looking very nice. Whether he goes forward is the next question. A lot of icons, I don't really like comparing them too much. Dybala, not a bad cam at all, coming in at 180. Fofana's more of a centre mid. Nakata's not bad, but again, it still lacks at certain levels. So realistically, there isn't too many like him for that price as well. Odegaard, again, wasn't a cracking one, but Player of the Month SBC, little bit different. SBCs can be either very good value or very, very bad value. So they again, are such a difference to go against. We saw Ben Yedder at 300,000 coins, incredible. But then I'm pretty sure we've just saw Rodrigo today, literally an 83 and an 84 rated team for an 85 rated card that I believe can't be upgraded. I don't personally know what's going on with that. That's a one team if I've ever seen one in my life. But in terms of Bruno, I think he's a nice player. Do I think he's going to make anybody's team realistically? Probably not. Going in at 260. I do hope I sold my version of him already. But 260, like I say, I'd probably be looking between 1 to 150 for this card at an absolute max. If he is going into your Man U team and you can't obviously afford the 600k. With Bruno, he's like a lot of players. It's going to be team of the season or footies where you really want that version of Bruno. The kind of upgraded one here, even the World Cup stories, 80 pace at this point. There's so many cards that have better stats all round. The good points from Bruno though, the pace isn't necessarily a massive deal. I feel like he still gets by with a Shadow or Hunter. Passing's brilliant. Shooting was actually really nice. He had some good shots. Dribbling wise as well, always fantastic with that left stick. A little bit less on the strength, which we can kind of understand. And the weak foot definitely is a little bit of a negative with only 3-star in this version. So overall, I'd probably be looking realistically, if I'm being absolutely brutal, I'd say a 7 out of 10. He's got a good name, nostalgic vibes from the old Bruno, and he's obviously bringing himself forward, which is always nice. Him, Rashford, and the whole team are doing quite well, so hopefully we can get a bigger set of Bruno, maybe even a Player of the Month if he carries on. That would be probably the best scenario. 89.90 would be a better one to go for. So let me know down below if you are looking at any of these Team of the Weeks. Other than that, we've got MLS next week, I think, and that's going to be it for me, I'm afraid. But other than that, make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.